Hey you guys, Desmond here.
And Creature.
And welcome back to the channel. And today, the time has finally come for us to review RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 10. Can you believe it? It's been 10 seasons of All-Stars.
10 seasons. Man.
And, most of them they got right. There was a few, you're playing with our time. I'm talking to you, All Stars 8 and 9. But anyway, before we get into it, just want to remind everyone to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We have a goal of 1,000 subscribers, and we'd love to reach it as soon as possible. So make our wish come true and hit that little button, okay? Okay. So, as you know, this season of All Stars has a different format. We're going to talk about the format and everything a little bit later, but now that we've seen 2 episodes of it, how are you feeling with this new format so far?
It's very confusing to me, honestly. With the point system, like the extra points. And you're like, because how do you strategize that? Where you're just like, oh, I have these extra points and I can't hoard it for myself. I have to give it to somebody else.
I'll talk about how I would have did it when we get to that part. But yeah, for me, so far, I'm liking it. We got to see it in its entirety to see, if it's a hit or a miss. But so far, I'm enjoying it. I just hope every bracket of queens is as good as this bracket of queens. Because this bracket has been thoroughly entertaining. I have really
We only got one more episode with them.
Yeah, we only got one more. So, I hope the other queens bring it like these 6 have. Because I have enjoyed them so much. But let's go ahead and get into the gig of it all. Boop. So, if you watched our review of the first look, the All-Stars Meet the Queens, there it is. The Meet the Queens review, you would have saw our individual thoughts on all these looks. Go check that out. Don't worry, we'll be right here when you get back. But one thing we didn't do is say which one was our favorite. So, out of the 6 queens standing up here, who had your favorite look for their entrance?
I'm going to say Olivia Lux.
And mine is right next to her, Bosco. I really enjoyed Bosco's look. Honestly, All-Stars 10 is turning me into a Bosco stan. Because, we reviewed season 14 together. And, Bosco's okay. But we weren't, woo, Bosco. You know what I'm saying? But now, after these 2 episodes, I'm like, woo, Bosco. That's what I love about the All-Stars, honey. She's like, let me show you how much I've grown, okay? Especially that episode 2 lip sync. Bosco. We'll talk about it. But anyway, RuPaul then introduces the Tournament of All-Stars. And they are bracket 1. So, the way that this is going to go is there's going to be 3 weeks where queens do not go home. There will be 2 winners. They will lip sync for their legacy and receive 2 points each. Now, if they win that lip sync, they get a $10,000 bonus and 1 extra point. And the queen with the most points at the end of this, the 3 queens with the most point at the end of each bracket will move on to the semifinals. So, and then she explains more about the other points later, so we'll talk about them later. But for now, she was like, there are also 4 other points each week that'll be given away, but more on that later. And announces that this week's Maxi Challenge is a rock and roll heavy metal girl group to the song Chicken Chicken. No, Chicken. Winner, Chicken Dinner. I had it backwards. Winner, Chicken Dinner. Which I'm like, y'all could have at least waited for Trixie to step back in before y'all threw that out, but that's okay. So the queens into the workroom. We have Aja, Deja, Irene the Alien, Olivia Lux, Bosco, and Phoenix for our first bracket. We see the scorecard up here where everyone can see how well they're doing, which I'm glad they did that because I would be one of those, wait, I have, hold on. And then now I have, so yeah, I'm glad this is up here so that everyone can see the points. I'm like, yes, this is how I'm doing. So we're already seeing some alliances starting to form here in the early seconds of the game. Because, we got the House of Miyake Mugler with Aja and Olivia Lux. And then we got Irene and Bosco, who are drag sisters. We also had a little piece with Aja and Deja. Like, they were coming in quick with the alliances. But, hey, there's only 3 episodes. You got to come in and be like, hey, I got your back. You got my back. There's these extra points. Let's go. So everyone gets out of drag and they begin writing their lyrics for Winner, chicken dinner.
Winner,
I don't know why I want to say chicken first. I'm not even hungry, so I'm not even sure why I want to say chicken first in this situation. But winner, chicken dinner, okay? We see the queens sitting down. They're talking about the different approaches that they're going to have for this. And then RuPaul comes in and do walkthroughs. And Irene is super excited because this is the first walkthrough she's ever done. And I'm like, that's why I really enjoy having queens who were either first or early outs. Because, a lot of times they didn't get to do a lot of the fun stuff.
Right.
It was kind of like, oh, thanks for coming, bye.
Right. Oh, I hope you didn't unpack all your luggage.
Oh, you did? Damn. That's okay. We're going to send some PAs in here to help you. Get that all packed up. But yeah, they went through their walkthroughs. They went through their rehearsals with Jamal Sims. And then while getting ready, Irene and Aja, I love this moment because you could tell neither one of them was serious. This is the type of playful shade that I live for. They were fun. And now it's time for the main stage. Up first, we have our mother of mothers, the queen of all queens, the hostess with the mostest, RuPaul. What did you think of RuPaul this week? And your score?
I like the black. I don't know how I feel about the hips, because that's not what I'm used to seeing her in. The exaggerated hips. But I'll give this an A-.
I freaking love this look. Every piece of it. The only issue is bring it down.
Bring it forward.
Just a little bit, okay? So I'm going to give it an A for that. But I love the silhouette of this. It's different from other Ru. She looks fantastic. And the upper half of this shot was what they used for the promo. So I love a look that has a multi-purpose.
Hey.
So this week we are joined by Michelle Visage, Ross Matthews, and our extra special guest judge, Ice Spice. It is now time for the runway, which the category is Tits and Slits. So if Roxy St. James was on All Stars 10, and you saw your paper and you saw Tits and Slits, what would you have brought in for this runway?
Oh my gosh, because part of me would have been camp and been like, oh, I'll dress like a hot dog with a split down the middle. Then the other part of me is like, oh, I would have gave you ragtime, but with the boobies out. And a little slit up. And it wouldn't have been a slit. It would have been like some semblance of a slit. And I'd have had like some old fogey shoes on and like stuck my leg out and been like, oop, ankle.
So, see, for me, my first thought when I heard Tits and Slits was Jessica Rabbit. And I was like, no.
That's usually my go-to, but I say Jessica Rabbit so much in a lot of looks that I'm just like...
And then I thought about it some more, and I'm like, ooh, I think I would love to do a fun nod to Tina Turner. Get the big hair out, get the boobs out, and just have a good nasty slit showing off that nasty thigh, and just come on down rolling. I think I would have gave you some Tina fantasy, or just went extremely sexy with it, like some sort of Jimbo level tits, like boom, and a split that probably went up to those tits.
It'll give you Bob Mackie vibes, but with a Jimbo twist.
Yeah. But yes, let's talk about these tits and these slits. Up first, we have Aja. What did you think of Aja?
I agree with Ross's whole little situation. I really wish that the chest plate had matched the rest of her skin. I think she put too much makeup on them, because I know those aren't her boobies. But other than that, like, I really liked it. If I was into Pokemon, I'm pretty sure I would have got the reference, but because if it's not Eevee or Squirtle or Pikachu, I'm very, very lost. But other than that, like, I liked it. It's an A for me.
I thought this was really good. I agree with the coloration. I wish it all matched. I did catch the reference when it came out. I'm not a big Pokemon person. When I was a kid, I was. So, like, sometimes something will jog back in my memory. I'll be like, oh, yeah. Because all three of Aja's looks, well, except for the one for the performance, was a reference to Pokemon. Her lip sync for her legacy was also a reference to a Pokemon. So, that one I didn't know. I didn't see that one until I got on Twitter. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Big period. I would give this an A-. I thought this was gorgeous. Up next is Bosco. This gets an A for me. I adore this. And I thought it was so smart to do zippers. And they're just everywhere. And even in the hair. I didn't catch the zippers in the hair until it was pointed out. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So smart. So smart. So yeah, this gets an A for me. What did you think of Bosco?
It gets an A for me too. I'm having a hard time figuring out if that is a chest plate or not. I don't think it is.
No, I think that's her.
I think that's her. She, you know, had the hormones, and they blessed her greatly, because most people get the hormones and they don't even get those little water balloons. But like it helped cover it, honestly, with the zippers. And then I thought she was referencing the look that Cardi B had did, which was like the Birth of Venus.
It could have been. She didn't mention it, but it could have been. You never know.
Right, and then just instead of pearls, did zippers. But I did like it, so I give it an A+ as well.
Up next is Deja Sky. What did you think of Deja?
She gave plenty of leg, but not enough tit. Like, when I'm sitting here searching for it, it's an issue. So this gets like a C for me.
I thought this was cute. I appreciated her going a different route from everybody else. I wish there was more tit as well. We got the leg, but I need a little bit more tit. We got the slit. Right. We need the tit. But I'll give this a B. This was good. I liked it.
I love the red hair, though.
Moving on to Olivia Lux serving Little Kim. This was everything to me. A+. I wouldn't want to change a thing. And then the mug. Oh, that mug is correct.
She learned.
But yeah, A+ for me.
Her mug was good on her season, but it's improved.
It's elevated now. Yes. But what did you think of Miss Olivia?
I agree with your A plus. Like it was good. Like that's probably the best, most accurate, even though it was dragified and camp Little Kim reference that I have seen on Drag Race. Because this isn't the first time,
Mm-hmm.
but thankfully they're so far in between when they
Yes.
do them that it makes you appreciate it when you do see it. Because unlike some Madonna looks or even some Cher looks where you're just kind of like, I just saw that like last season. Come on, think of something else. Like Little Kim doesn't come up very often, so for her to finally pop back up in the lexicon, like, yeah, and this was done so well too. So yes, I agree with your A plus.
Up next, we have Irene, the alien. What did you think of Irene?
She was like, come and see me sometime. Giving you a little May West. I liked it. Like, I forget the fact that she's green. Like, just this is an excellent outfit. I love the slit. The wig is on point. I don't know how she kept that little fan thing up in the back. So this gets an A plus from me.
I have to agree with your A plus. This was stunning, and like you said, even if she didn't paint herself green, this still would have been an amazing look. Like, and then the reveal at the end, just to give you a little bit more tip, be like, "Oop, oop, oop." I loved it. A plus.
Mm-hmm.
Up next is
And she
Phoenix.
waited till the end.
That part, she didn't just rip it off immediately. Like, she knew when to do the reveal. I'm like, thank you. Up next
Leave us
is
wanting more.
Phoenix. Now, let me tell you about Miss Phoenix here. I was not expecting this from her.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause she also did the zipper thing, but she actually unzipped on the stage. First, she showed off the leg. Then she showed off the tits. My only thing with this look is I wish we could have saw just a little bit more of her face. And I wish there was like a corset or something that would have hid the fact that the breastplate, because you can see the bottom of it. That took me out of it. But overall, this was a really good look. I give it an A. What did you think of Phoenix?
I agree with your A. Like, I have not really followed Phoenix.
I don't think I have since her season all those years ago.
Well, yeah, I know. I really haven't followed her, but considering the fact that she's a queen from a season so long ago, you're like, oh, okay, what are you gonna bring? So for her to come out in this latex pleather type number, I'm like, oh, okay, we're bringing it. We're not here to play games. So I agree with your A.
So we have all of our queens lined up here. Who had your favorite look this week?
Ooh, my favorite look was probably Olivia.
I would have to say the same. I think Olivia had my favorite look this week.
Like Irene. So when we
Irene is a close second. Irene is a close second.
Yes, because I was like, Irene, that name sounds familiar. I don't remember an Irene the Alien. I remember Irene Dubois. I don't remember Irene the Alien, but she wasn't on there so long I forgot what her face looked like. But then she was like, yeah, I changed it to Irene Dubois, from Irene Dubois to Irene the Alien, because it just represented me more. And I was like, oh, okay. But yes, my close second is Irene.
So it is now time for winner chicken dinner. Now, when I heard they were shooting the music,
awesome food logo,
baby, right? I would eat here.
I would eat there. Like, this is a restaurant in Vegas.
Ooh, speaking of, I gotta talk about Vegas a little bit when we get off of here. But
like a Guy Fieri level type.
This
stuff.
is what you see on the cruise, because they have the restaurants on the cruises. This is a restaurant that's on the cruise.
Although I wouldn't go on a cruise anytime soon.
Oh, I want to go probably next year, but again, we'll talk about that more later.
Okay.
But when they were shooting the music video, when they aired the music video, I was kind of sad it was on the main stage. I'm like, why not just do the live one in front of the judges so that they can all watch? When they said they were doing a music video, I thought they had like a special set made for them to go rock out there.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well, all right, main stage, cool. Well, let's go with the winner, chicken dinner. Up first, we had Aja, who completely knocked this out the park.
Yes,
hands down, my favorite of the group. Mm-hmm. Like, she served Rock, she served Aja. It worked for me. It did. What did you think of Miss Aja?
I agree with your assessment. Like, it was probably like the best performance that was up there. Like, there were some close seconds. Like, whoever got picked for the top 3, I agreed with wholeheartedly because I actually sat and thought about it.
Honestly, this is a little, usually we talk about it a little later, but I don't disagree with the judging on either one of these episodes, which is a rare occasion for me because I'm like, wrong. But anyway, continue your thoughts on Miss Aja.
But no, she knocked us out the park. So
she did. Let's move onwards to Bosco. Oh, ate this up.
Mm-hmm.
Yum. The only part that I didn't particularly care for was how she opened it when she was singing all high. I'm like, oh, that don't really, it took me out for a second. But baby, she brought me right back in. And I was sold. I'm buying the ticket. I'm coming to the concert. Okay?
Hey.
But what did you think of Bosco?
Again, I agree. Like I said, I agree with the judging and everything. Like, the singing in the front kind of took me out. I get where she was coming from, and I guess maybe she had to have that jarring moment to be like, okay, yeah, my attention's on you now. Because, like, what the F is that? So in a way it was smart, but at the same time kind of took me out of it.
Moving onwards to Deja Sky. First of all, her rocker look, loved it so much. This looks so good on her. I thought her verse was fun. I love the reference to Little John at the end.
Yes, that was incredibly smart as well.
Oh yes, let the judges know what you did well in your previous season. But when she referenced Little John, I'm like, okay. But then when she said "yay," I'm like, oh, I wasn't expecting the yeah. That was real cute. She did a real good job. And then moving on to Irene, Miss Irene. This was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like out of everybody, she embodied the rock of that time. Like, every time the camera was on her, she was serving 80s rock realness.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes with the tongue or the body movements, like, she was fully in it from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
And her verse was good as well. So I really enjoyed it. Really did. And then we had Olivia. I thought her verse was good, but I do agree. I think it was Ross who said she needed to add a little bit more grit in the voice. She put some in at the end, but like, if you want to really give us the rocker, should have thrown a little bit more in the beginning, thrown a little bit more in the middle, just to give us that feel. And God, Olivia is so gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
The hair was flowing correctly. The movements were moving. But yeah, Olivia really, really did that. Then we had Phoenix. She tried.
She tried.
Her verse, I was like, oh baby, did you write this verse last second? Like, what's going on here? What it was very much, 1, 2, buckle my shoe.
Mm-hmm.
But she did good. She did good, okay? We gotta remember she's from season 3.
So hard.
Yeah, you gotta remember she's from season 3. So she did a good job. An early ad on season 3 on top of that. She did a good job. And that was winner, chicken dinner.
Chicken dinner.
So, after the deliberations, RuPaul announces that the top 2 queens of the week are Aja and Irene the Alien. Do you agree with this top 2 placement?
Yes.
I do too. I think what edged Irene over Bosco was just how connected she was in the video. And like we were saying, the extra movements, the just embodying that 80s rock. I think that's what took her over.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were like, Bosco could have been up there. And I'm like, you're right, Bosco could have been. And I would not have argued. But like, I get why Irene was there. And I would say, yes, Irene should be there. The only thing I didn't like, RuPaul threw out that line that I hate so much. If you're not in the top, you're in the bottom. I'm like, baby, just say they're safe.
Right.
just say they're safe. Especially once you gave Bosco that extra call out, like, Aja, Irene, Bosco, y'all 3 really yada yada yada. I'm like, then to turn around and tell her she in the bottom. No, no, just say they safe. Girl, ain't nobody going home. But hey, here's the gag. I was thinking about this. They possibly still could have did eliminations with this format. Because you got your 6 queens here. 1 went home. You got your 5 queens for the second episode. 1 goes home and 4 for that last one. And you still have 3 leaving from each bracket. But hey, I like how they're doing things so far. So I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to be quiet and just watch, okay? But yes, Aja, Irene are top 2 All-Stars of the week. And they both receive 2 points. So they lip sync to Think You the Shit, Fart by Ice Spice. I love how RuPaul could not hold it in when she said the name of this song. She's like, you think you're the shit. Fart. Oh my goodness. But I will say, when this song first came out, I thought it was cute. I bumped it along. I think it ended up on my Spotify Wrapped for that year. I can't remember or not. But I never was like, oh my god, this is like the top song of all time, yada yada yada. But after seeing Aja...
but I think I do remember hearing you singing it a couple
times. Like it was never really like that big of a moment in my life. But now, after this lip sync, the amount of times I've listened to this song, I'm like, and it's all because of you, Aja, because you ate this up. Let's talk about that lip sync.
You really did.
Aja, my dear, just beautiful, amazing. And let me give some praise to Irene here, because if she would have went up against anybody else, she probably would have won. And this is a huge redemption from that first lip sync from season 15 between her and Amethyst. What was it? 7 Rings by Ariana? I believe that's what it was. No bueno. I didn't like that one bit. But this right here was so good. And Aja, I imagine you've seen the moment of the little dancey dance she did. It has been everywhere. It has been clipped. It has been memed. And I watch it every time at least 10 or 15 times. Because she did that. She really did. I remember watching the episode, and I had to go back to watch this lip sync again because Aja ate it up so much. I'm like, hold on, I already know she won. Let me just go back and watch the lip sync again because ain't no way she finna lose. If she would have said Irene, I'd be like, now RuPaul, what is you doing? But yeah, she ate it up. Irene did a good job too. What did you think of this lip sync between Irene and Aja?
I could not take my eyes off of Aja. Like, it was really, really, really tough. Like, I had to force myself to look at Irene. But Irene wasn't doing a half bad job either. Yeah. It was just kind of like, Aja knows how to command a stage. And I was like, oh, that's what real drag looks.
And especially after season 17 where the lip syncs weren't all that great.
They weren't even mid, bro.
I would say they were mid because there were a few of them. I'm like, okay, I see y'all. But most of them, I'm like, girl, can we send them both home?
That should have been a double shante.
But yeah, so great lip sync. RuPaul then announces that the winner of the lip sync is Aja. Do you agree?
Yes.
I do as well. And with Aja winning the lip sync, she gets a cash tip of $10,000 and an extra point on the board, leaving her with 3 points and Irene with 2. So, RuPaul tells the queens to come up to the stage and lets them know that for them, they all receive a point, but they can't keep it. They have to give it to their MVQ, their most valuable queen.
Right.
So, I thought they were going to do it right there on the spot. But no, we went back to the main stage. We went back to the workroom, and they all sit down and discuss how they are going to distribute these points. And we also see that Aja's and Irene's points already put on the board. Mm-hmm. So the bottom queens are talking. So if you were in this situation, how would you handle your point giving?
I think for a first go around, the way that they did it was okay, where everybody just kind of gave their points to each other. Mm-hmm. Just so everybody gets on the board, and it guarantees that at least I'm on the board. Huh?
So let me tell you how I would have done this. So say if I'm in the bracket, say if me and you were in the same bracket.
Okay.
No matter what, every time, I'm giving you my extra point. You could have been in the top that week. I'm still giving you my extra point. We only have 3 episodes here. We can't just sit here and act like we are not already making alliances, yada, yada, yada. If I was sitting among these people here and you would have walked in after your lip sync, regardless if you won the lip sync or lost, I'm giving you my extra point to make sure you get to the finale. That is just me. So like when Olivia, when she was bringing up the idea of possibly giving it to Aja, I'm like, I completely understand that. Now, would I have said it out loud like that? No. I would have just let us all talk, blah, 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 and then at the end be like, okay, here you go, Roxy St. James. And everybody would have been like, what? I'd be like, oh. Here you go. You get another one. No. We don't have time for this. And if we were both in the bottom that week, each time I would expect us to give each other, and that'll be at least 3 points right there. And don't let one of us end up in the top or winning the lip sync. Psh. So I was right there with Olivia. I'm like, yes. Give it to Aja. You want to shake the table? You want to play the game? Let's play this game. We got 3 episodes.
Right.
We can be kumbaya at the reunion. Well, they usually don't do reunions for All Stars. We can be kumbaya when we do the tour and all the other stuff. But for right now, I got 3 episodes to make sure me or mine gets to the finale. So if I can't get there, at least I know Roxy can get there, and vice versa. If you can't get there, at least I can get there. Cause what's the point? What's the point of having? And I think that's why they paired it up the way they did. We're like, oh, we got the Maki Mugler girls, and we got the where are they from again? They're not from Boston. They're from
Seattle.
We got the Seattle girls. And then we got Phoenix, who also was on season 14 with Bosco. And then Phoenix, who doesn't really have a direct connection, but a lot of them still have respect for Phoenix because she was season 3. And if it wasn't for season 3, we wouldn't be at All Stars 10 right now. But yeah, so I just wouldn't have said it out loud. I would have just sat there and played along with them, and then just last second be like, okay, well, I'm going to give my 1 point to Roxy St. James. Here you go. And just have everybody stare at me. And I'm like, what? And make sure I go last, too. I'm like, oh, no, you can go first, honey. And I'm like, well, last, but definitely not least, my point is going to. So there's no way they could play around like, oh, y'all want to play dirty. No, y'all go first. Now, episode 2 and 3, let's go. Every person for themselves. So the top two enters the workroom with their pads, with their badges on. Aja with a 3 and Irene with a 2. So when it was time to give their stars away, this is not All Star 7. When it was time to give their points away, Phoenix chose Bosco, Bosco chose Phoenix, Deja chose Olivia, Olivia chose Deja. Again, first episode, Kumbaya, cute. But I'm excited to see the points from this episode. I wish they would have showed that bit at the end instead of making us wait till next week. But yeah, go ahead and let us know. Yeah. I need to know how that played out, because I know my good sis, Aja and Olivia, they're going to do right, okay? But anyway, so the queens enter the workroom the next day. Someone online said that Aja and Bosco looked like Velma and Shaggy.
They look like
Velma and Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. And I'm like, oh my God, I love it so much. Which I think she was intentionally dressing as Velma, but for Bosco to be dressed in that same color green that Shaggy wore, I love it. Love it.
They have the same color hair.
Same kind of hair and everything, yes. So, they're sitting down, they're chatting, and it's time for the room mail. I hope RuPaul does this the whole season of this reporter look. I really hope this is the confessional, not the confessional, but the room mail for the whole season, because when that popped up, I cackled. I'm like, RuPaul, I love it so much.
Well, look, at least they got to be in boy drag instead of in girl drag.
So RuPaul enters the workroom and announces this week's mini challenge. Before this mini challenge, I forget the name of it. Before this mini challenge, we needed the pit crew. So they came in, and so what they're going to have to do is they're going to have a softball, and they're going to have to get the softball up to the pit crew's lips without using their hands. Which I thought this was fun. I was cackling through this. I love silly, dumb mini challenges, and it looks like we're getting one next week with the basketball ladies. I'm excited for that. I'm like, let me find out. It's taking All Stars 10 for us to get all the mini challenges back. Baby. But anyway, so the queens partake in their mini challenge. We were having a good time. But the winner of the first round was Phoenix. And then the winner of the second round was Irene Dubois. I'm sorry, Irene the Alien. Irene the Alien. So, Irene and Phoenix go head to head, ball to ball, for the win.
Ball
to ball. And Irene got the win and a cash tip of $2,500. Let me tell you something. I love it for Irene. You go home first your season. And then you come back and we'll go ahead and say win the first 2 challenges of your All-Star season. Which really makes me feel like it really makes me feel like we missed out on season 15. I'm like, if she would have done anything but a damn glass of water, would we have looked at a different top 4 than what we had? But hey, it was all meant for what it was meant to be, because now she's here and she's shining, honey. So, RuPaul then announces this week's Maxi Challenge is an improv challenge. They will be improving through Murder on the Dance Floor. I remember pausing this when I was watching it. I paused it. I'm like, if the lip sync song is Murder on the Dance Floor, I swear to God. As soon as I heard RuPaul call that Maxi Challenge Murder on the Dance Floor, I'm like, so we know the lip sync song. Because I would be that person. I'll be like, hey, we got Murder on the Dance Floor for this week's lip sync song. We should incorporate it into the title of the Maxi Challenge. And I'm even extra petty. I'm like, let's make the runway some sort of murder theme. Instead of coming and going like we thought it would have been some sort of murder theme. Just tie it all together, baby. Tie all 3 together. But yes, so they are giving so it's time for them to get their roles. They're assigned descriptions of who their characters are, and it's their job to improv their way through the challenge. Now, this is my type of improv. Give me the character. Give me a little bit of their background. Let me go. But when I have to come up with it myself, or maybe even a celebrity, excuse me, that's where I think I'll struggle. But baby, you tell me my name is Thelma Louise, and this is my background story. I'm like, okay, got you. I'm this character. Let's go. Let's have a good time. But now that we've seen all of the characters, is there a particular one you would... Ooh, this is a bad shot of Aja. Let me change that. Now that we know what all the characters are, is there a particular one you would have wanted?
Take it back. That's a lot of characters.
It's only 6 characters.
Still a lot of characters.
Well, technically 7 because Aja had to play twins.
You don't know, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you have noticed me doing a lot of yawning, and I seem pretty distant. It's because, for some weird reason, my insomnia kicked in last night, and I didn't go to sleep till 5 a.m. this morning.
That's fun.
So my brain is not working. I might have wanted to play Aja's character. Like, yeah, it's dual roles, but I think it's something I could have pulled off.
I think I would have went for the role that Deja got. Either that or Irene's character. But I think Irene did it so well, I'm not sure if I could have done it. But I think I could have done Deja's with no problem. So, they're getting ready for the improv challenge. And we get a little between Bosco and Olivia. I thought this was completely out of left field.
Same.
I was like, you know, I don't want to discredit Olivia's feelings. I never want to do that. It just seemed kind of odd that this is the hill you're trying to die on.
Right. And I think I know where she was coming from with it. You know, when you allow yourself to get run over and run roughshod for so long, and the first time you have an opportunity to stand up for yourself and you feel that power and you're like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I have that feeling a lot of times with my students. And it took me a long time to realize, like, I even had it out there where we worked. Where, you know, sometimes you're sitting there, you're talking to somebody, and something would get said that's, like, really stupid. And you're just like, what'd you say? Why would you say something like that? And you want to go off because you want to prove something not only to this person who's targeted you, whether it was intentional or unintentional, but you also want to show everybody else, like, see, look, I'm in my power now, so don't F with me. And, you know, when you do it with other adults, that's pretty much your mindset. When you do it with students or kids, your mindset is, I'm going to show you my power now so you can't question me later. And then it ends up not working out for you. And you're just kind of like, oh, great. You know.
And honestly, it didn't even look like Olivia was comfortable in the moment. It just seemed like, oh shit, I think I may have blew this out of proportion. But I'm already in it. Because I'm the same way. Well, if I realize, oh snap, I may be wrong here, but we're mid-argument or mid-whatever, I'm not stopping. I'm like, no, I'm going to win this. I might sound really stupid in the process, but I'm going to win this moment, and we'll just have to come back later and have our apologies. But that's happened to me a few times.
We did have later on in the episode.
I got a screenshot for that a little bit later. But that's happened to me a few times where halfway through I'm like, you know what? You're right. But no, we already started. I'm not gonna lose. No. Mm-mm. But yeah, it didn't seem natural for Olivia, and it could have been the situation that you explained there. But I'm already seeing online people are sending her hate. I'm like, come on, y'all. This is the reason why the queens don't want to come on the show no more, because of y'all. This is the reason why.
The funny thing is, what I think is going to kill RuPaul's Drag Race is going to be the fans.
I agree wholeheartedly. It's going to be the fans that get this show off the air. And because nobody's going to want to come back to do All Stars.
2 or 3 more years before one fan does the wrong thing. And
it irritates me because people are like, oh, we want the earlier seasons of Drag Race back. No, you don't. Because every time they try to bring that level of drama, y'all start sending them hate threats and, telling them to themselves. Right. That's not cool. So leave this baby alone. Please. God, dog. I hate that every season it seems like we gotta keep having these conversations. And it's mostly the younger fans that we're talking to. The fans who probably only been watching since season 12. So it's just like, stop. You want... No.
Yeah.
No.
It kind of sucks, like, in all honesty. Like, if you really think about it, and it's just like really weird that that's the analogy that we have. RuPaul's Drag Race is kind of like some offshoot of America where we have this group of people who think a certain way and think that their way is right all the time, and there could be some merit to it, but they don't approach it the right way. Like, you can sit here and we are adults, we've been watching it, we're in the fandom, but we're looking at it openly, because I could sit here and I could look at Bosco and be like, well, that was a really rude comment, and I do think it was a really rude comment, but watching how Olivia reacted, I was like, well, that's kind of weird. Why would you do that? Why would you, and you get to see both sides of the argument. There's no need for the extra hate, and you see that they patched it up. It was presented in the episode, so it's not like, oh, this happened a year ago and there's been no resolution.
There was resolution on the day
with each other. It was the same day. It was probably within an hour of it. They both admitted they were wrong. Hey, you know what? This is a bigger powder keg than it normally is, because RuPaul's Drag Race is a powder keg. It is a big powder keg. This time, this is an atomic bomb. We are even more compressed and pressed for time. We have 3 episodes to make an impression, to get these points, and to get to where we can be, to possibly be in the running for this $200,000. So, yeah, the amount of snark that would normally escalate over the course of 16 episodes gets compressed and turned into this second episode of a 3-episode arc. So a lot of storyline is happening fast.
And one of the things that really... Oh, I'm sorry.
It's 3 episodes to show, yeah, I've changed. Yeah, something's different. And Olivia was like, oh, I have 3 episodes to show people that I'm just not happy, smiley, happy-go-lucky Olivia Lux no more. I am that BICH, I'm the HBIC now. And so that was her hill she chose to die on. And then she thought about it and was like, oh, well, that was pretty dumb, and that probably didn't give the impression I wanted to give. And then they turned around, they apologized to each other, and it could have been a private moment that somebody just eavesdropped on. They could have did it off camera and nobody would have known. And for people to sit here and be like, oh, yeah, we hate you now, is stupid. Stop the parasocial stuff.
Please. And that's one of the things that really bothered me, is that they did a double premiere. And I'm like, in the past, that didn't matter. But with this being a bracket format, we're already more than halfway done with this group. We got 1 more week. So we'll have 2 weeks with this group. when every other group gets their full 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that kind of, took me out. I'm like, oh, yay that we get 2 episodes, but also boo, because that means it's only 2 weeks of this group, and I really love this group. Now,
exactly.
You were talking about the brackets a little bit earlier, which made me realize I forgot to say something. Once the queens make the semifinal, they then have 2 episodes. And then the final 8 queens, because from my understanding, those 2 episodes will have eliminations. I'm guessing one of them won't, because if it's 2 episodes and there's 9 queens, one of those episodes nobody's going home. Unless they do some sort of comeback situation.
Right.
And then those 8 queens will lip sync for the crown in a lip sync Lollapalooza. I don't know how I feel about the top 8 doing a lip sync Lollapalooza for the crown. I don't know how I feel about that just yet. But we'll have to see. But yes, one of my favorite moments was Deja with this wicked head. She's like, I'm being the nosy neighbor. Oh, that tickled me. I'm like, I'm so glad Deja's back on my TV. I'm just so glad. So, it is now time for murder on the dance floor. But you cannot kill the groove. Anyway. So, the story is, there's this lady here who they believe at the time is Mary Kate. Or is it Ashley? No, it's Mary Kate. They believe
it's Ashley.
It's Ashley. Okay. They believe that Ashley is dead here on the floor.
Yep.
RuPaul and Carson Kressley. The accent Carson did took me out of here. I'm like, I'm really shocked they didn't have Ross do this. But Carson, you did a good job. But anyway, they come in, and we even got to see Michelle Visage, which was so fun. But they have to find out who murdered this poor lady. So, up first, we had Aja. Now, I thought Aja did a really good job with her improv here. It's a major improvement from All Stars 3 when she did that whiny girl in The Bachelor. So much improvement has been made. But you can still tell she's not fully comfortable with improv. And she kept repeating the same thing over and over again. I'm like, you already said that, sis. I know you're nervous, but you already said that. Let's build more of this character here. It's like she's like, I have these 3 things I want to say. Oh, I've said those 3 things already. Well, I'm gonna say them again so they understand those 3 things. And I'm like, okay. But what did you think of Aja during this improv?
I think I got the same vibe. Like, okay, I have these, because I thought that those were just lines that were fed to her. And I know that was part of the backstory, some of it. I think she did okay. It was an improvement from her season. But, yeah, she struggled a little bit.
Moving onwards to Phoenix. I thought she did an okay job. It was very decent, but it's just very much probably the similar thing with Aja. She had things that she wanted to say. She said them. Luckily, she didn't repeat herself much, but there was a few times where she said something and I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense with what RuPaul just said. But you knew you had to get this out and you only have a certain amount of time to do it. So, but yeah. I thought she did fine, though. She looks great here. Just want to throw that out there. What did you think of Phoenix?
She looks like a little lobster.
She is red. I didn't realize that.
I think she did pretty good. I mean, she got her points out there.
Yeah, she didn't do bad at all. Honestly, nobody did bad.
Yeah, nobody really did bad. I think my only thing was like costume choice, but I'm assuming this was like a keeping up appearance type situation, because if I'm sitting here, because I think Aja should have been dressed like her character, and her character should have been dressed like Aja, because Aja was dressed like somebody who had it all once and was trying to get it back, whereas she was just like somebody who had got it and still had it.
Yeah, that was one of the things I caught too. I'm like, your family must have had money, so why are you worried about this gumbo recipe?
That part.
So let's move onwards to Deja motherfucking Scott.
I love the eyelash on the cheek.
Baby, she played this role so well. I love the interactions with RuPaul. I love how she wasn't scared to get up on RuPaul.
Right? Because she was like, I'm spread wide.
Because I remember her in the workroom being nervous about it. And I'm like, if RuPaul didn't want this to happen, it wouldn't be on the paper. It would have been a completely different character. So go fully out for it. Go for it. And I'm glad she went for it. She did such a great job.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look, and then the transitions in order to get it up. I dropped my... Hold on. And
oh, wait. Oh, let me try.
Hold on. Let me back it up really quick. Oh, snap.
That's why I said I think I would do a really good job with this type of character. Because yeah. So up next is another one of my favorites, Bosco. Oh my gosh.
I didn't realize that was Bosco. I thought that was Irene for a second.
Bosco. This is how you do it, honey. The whole thing with both of her eyes, not having neither one of her eyes, she's blind. Like, that was a twist that I thought was hilarious. I wish I would have got a screenshot of when RuPaul was going over why everybody isn't the murderer, and they would do little shots, and hers was sitting there trying to sing. Oh my goodness, it just tickled me. But yeah, Bosco did an amazing job. The look is crazy. The makeup is crazy. I love it all. What did you think of Bosco?
What? I thought I said my piece.
Oh, that was all you had to say? My bad. So let's move onwards to Irene the Alien. But my favorite of the group.
I think maybe I said it in my head. Who knows?
But she was my favorite of this group. Irene really showed out. And I love the ditzy blonde, yada yada. And then when Rue called her on her shit, she's like, well, aren't you a smart one? I'm like, oh, right, I love the voice change.
With that.
The look was everything. The voice change was so cute. She volleyed with Rue very well. I thought she was my favorite of the night. Like, she did such a great job. Such a great job.
Yeah, I agree. I think she did a great job, and all the big points you made are the same big points that I would.
Then we had Olivia Lux. I thought she did good. I just felt like she didn't fully understand the character. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, give us a little bit more. Like, you're there, Olivia. Just hike it up a little.
Go over just a little bit more.
You got the base of your character.
When she was looking into the crystal ball,
she had the basis of it. I'm like, come on now, overact, overdo it. That's what's gonna get you to that top. But it never got there. They never got there. But she did good. Did better than others. So we get back to the dance floor where the murder took place. And Mr. Poussey is RuPaul's character. Mr. Poussey was going through and announcing why everyone could have killed Ashley but didn't kill Ashley. But in the end, it was actually Michelle Visage, which I had a feeling it was her because they zoomed in on her not having that nail, and I'm like, where's her nail? And then as we were going on, I'm like, wait, I bet it's Michelle. I bet it was Michelle. And it was Michelle. But overall, I thought this was a really fun improv challenge. And it even tickled me at the end when RuPaul was like, now let the music play. I'm like, Lord. Lord, Lord, Lord. So, while getting ready for the runway, they showed us a clip of Bosco and Olivia apologizing to each other. And there's no more hard feelings. This clip alone should have stopped y'all little children from attacking Olivia. But hey. But yeah, they apologized. They're good. We should be good, okay? Even if they weren't good, who is it for us to tell to go attack somebody for that?
Right?
Like, there's a lot of people I don't like, but why would somebody come up to me and be like, well, I heard you don't like such and such. I'm like, I don't. That's not, you coming up and addressing me about me not liking someone is not going to change the fact that I don't like someone. And now you just added to the list of people I don't like because now you're being petty. For what? For what?
Exactly.
We're grown. We can dislike people if we want to.
Anyway. That's how I feel about students at work. They sit there and I'm just like, if you're not the person that's hurt, please don't come tattle to me. Or when they're sitting there like, so-and-so won't play with me. Okay, what do you want me to do about it? I'm not going to force them to play with you.
Go play with someone else. Or play by yourself if you want to.
Go find somebody else to play with. Which, coming from somebody who's done that before, who went and tattled and was like, my friends won't play with me. They're being really, really mean to me. I'm like, okay, I get why you would want to tell. You're told your whole life, like, hey, something's wrong, tell an adult, tell a teacher, etc. However, you don't know what happens after that. Like, when I went and I told and was like, hey, these people that I thought were my friends won't play with me anymore, it got me bullied even more. Like, it literally got my head mushed into a bathroom wall. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm saving you some extra grief here, friend. You go play with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, when I was growing up, and there were times where I was just kind of, like, peopled out, or I would shut down, and I'd just be like, well, I don't feel like playing with anybody today. I'm just going to go sit in a corner and read a book, or I'm just going to go, sit and chill by the wall and do whatever. And then they'd sit there and try to gaslight me. Oh, you don't want to play with me now? All of a sudden, you don't want to play with me? And I'm just like, well, first of all, you didn't want to play with me yesterday. So I'm just accepting
that you don't
what you told me. That you don't want to play with me. And I'm giving you your space. And I'm taking my space and enjoying my peace over here.
Mm-hmm. But now it's time for the main stage. Up first, we have our hostess with the mostest, the mother of all mothers, the queen of all queens, RuPaul. What did you think of RuPaul this week and your score?
This looks like a nightgown, but I love it. I love the way it wraps around her body.
Not a nightgown. I said, not a nightgown.
It was like a nightgown.
Oh,
but I love the way it wraps around her body. The padding on the left boob is a little obvious, but yeah, other than that, like, I like it. I wish the wig would pull down just a little bit. It's like almost there, almost in the right spot. But yeah, I give this an A.
I agree with your A. What stops me once again from giving it an A+ is the wig placement. This was good. It seems familiar, but also brand new for RuPaul. It looks so cute. Mm-hmm. And also, I wish the hair was a little bigger. You know me, I love some big hair. Just a little bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So this week we are joined by Michelle Visage, Carson Kressley, and Coleman Domingo, which in this area, he reminded me of how I initially knew him. All these years, I'm like, I know this man from somewhere. I just can't remember where. And it never crossed my mind when I had my phone or my computer and I can Google the man. But he mentioned how he used to play RuPaul a lot on the Big Gay Sketch Show. And I'm like, oh, that's how I know you. I used to watch the Big Gay Sketch Show.
I've never seen the Big Gay Sketch Show.
Oh, honey, it was only like a season or two. But it was really good. I remember watching it. So seeing that it finally checked the box for me, I'm like, I knew this man from somewhere. I knew I did.
I don't know. I just knew. I never heard of him before, honestly, until he hosted the Met Gala last week.
Wait, you just heard of this man like last week? I've been hearing his name consistently for the past few years. That just shows you we're on two different sides of TikTok, because that's mostly where I hear about Coleman Domingo. He's one of them people where you gotta say his full name, Coleman Domingo. You just can't call him Coleman, it's Coleman Domingo. And I follow this one lady who gets mad at people because they know Coleman Domingo's going to be in the building and you still dress like that. Because one thing about Coleman Domingo, he don't play on that runway. He don't play with his looks. So she always gets mad. They're like, did you not know Coleman Domingo was coming and you needed to step it up? But yes, Coleman Domingo was here. And the category for this week is coming and going. One look in the front, another in the back. So with the category of coming and going, what would have Roxy St. James prepared?
I don't know. I've been on Nature Talk for the last 4 or 5 hours, so coming and going have a completely different meaning to me all of a sudden. Let's see. What would I have done for coming and going? I mean, immediately Death Becomes Her becomes something that
Oh, I want to see the musical. I listened to the soundtrack the other day. I'm like, oh, I gotta see this musical. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, for some weird reason, that becomes a thing where I'm like, yeah, just a big old hole.
For me, a lot of you may know, you may not know, but I am a big fan of Sailor Moon. So, I was thinking a fun look I could have done was Sailor Moon in the front and then Princess Serenity in the back. Or the other way around. Maybe, honestly, the way it needs to be formatted, I think it would have been better if I was Princess Serenity in the front, have the hair, and then turn around and be like, fighting evil by moonlight, click, click. But let's get into these looks, honey. Up first, we have Olivia Lux. She comes in looking all gorgeous, and they have these royal flowers behind her. Honestly, this will be a real sickening, wedding gown. Make the dress white, and then you can keep the flowers white too, but maybe do a fun color in the back and make it really long for your train. That would be really cute. That would be really cute.
I don't think the dress should be white. I think it should be silver.
Listen, I don't care what color it is. I think it'll be fun. But this looks stunning. This gets an A for me. I thought Olivia looks great here. What did you think, Olivia?
I agree with your A. I love this. It was gorgeous.
Moving onwards to Irene the Alien. She comes out giving us all, Republican realness. She reveals the alien in her head and the robot behind her. What did you think of Irene the Alien?
I kind of like this too.
Oh, I loved it. I'm sorry, wait, it's not my turn.
I liked it too. I'm
slowly turning into an Irene
so
stan.
Weird.
I am slowly turning into. I said I am slowly turning into an Irene stan. Slowly but surely.
You know me, I'm straight laced. I'm not a big fan of the avant-garde, but lately, if you do avant-garde right, I'm oh yeah, I like that. So I kind of like this. This gets an A from me.
I have to give it an A+. And it's right on the head, right on the nail of what we're dealing with currently. And, this was shot before, the change in administration. Um, but yeah, it's just like this fits really perfectly. This gets an A plus for me. Loved it. Up next is Bosco. First, coming out with this coffin. Sorry, the cinched coffin, okay? Cinched, okay? Let's not forget that. Then we turn around and reveal an Elvira. I thought this was stunning. We don't really get a lot of nods to Elvira on the show, even though a lot of people know that's one of RuPaul's favorite people.
Right.
So I thought this was...
really don't. I know they've had, whole things dedicated to her before, but...
But yeah, outside of that, I don't really know that there's been any references to Elvira. And she's been a judge on the show countless of times. Honestly, it's about time we see her again. She pops up every few seasons. It's about time for her to pop up again. So if I know they're shooting 18 right now, go ahead and get her on there. Okay? If not, get her for All Stars 11. But it's about that time for Miss Elvira to be back on my screen. Especially since we gave her the Giving Us Lifetime Award. I think she was the first one to get it.
Yes.
Yeah, she was the first one to get it. But yeah, this look gets an A+ for me. And I love the moment at the end where she left the coffin for RuPaul. Like, here you go. Almost time. That tickled me. But what did you think of Bosco?
I don't know if I would have made the coffin coming or going. I don't know. She just did it backwards, I guess. She did going and coming.
Actually, I think coming and going is correct. Bosco was coming and she's telling RuPaul it's time for her to go.
Ah!
That's the way I took it.
I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, she left the coffin. She's like, all right, here you go.
Here you go. Yeah, I give it an A.
So good, so good. So up next we have Deja Sky. She was a flower. Both times. And then there's a flower behind her. What did you think of Deja Sky here?
That was interesting.
It was.
That was interesting.
It was.
That's a D.
It's a no for me, dog.
Okay.
Love you, Deja, and I love you took a swing there. I really do.
Yes.
I appreciate the swing. I do.
Yes.
So, up next we have Phoenix.
Swing and a miss.
Up next we have Phoenix, when she comes out in this dark gray. And then behind her, the sunshine is coming. And then just hearing the story about her losing her sister to COVID. Oh, I'm like, stop it. You are not finna get me crying at like 6 something in the morning. We are not doing this.
We're not gonna do that.
We are not doing this, Phoenix. Don't. But I thought this look was stunning. A+ for me. What did you think of Miss Phoenix?
I gave it a B. It wasn't my favorite. I don't know.
All right.
Just wasn't my favorite look. Just gets a B.
Up next is Aja. What did you think of Aja?
Well, I just said I am the sun.
Period.
I didn't really get the going. I got the coming.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look up what all this is on the back for her going. But I appreciate there's something there.
Exactly. She was like, go on the front, back, and back. Oh, wait, let me put something on there. This gets a C.
This gets a B+ for me. I like it. Picasso.
Hey.
So, out of all these amazing queens who are here, who had your favorite look this week?
My favorite look will have to go to Olivia.
Mine is Bosco. Like, Bosco, just eat that up. Ate it up so good. So after
my Australian accent's getting better.
So after deliberations, we find out that the top 2 All-Stars of the week are Bosco and Irene. Do you agree with these 2 queens being the top 2?
Yeah, they did excellent in the challenge.
I do too. I'm like, Deja could have got it if the runway was just a bit better. But I thought these 2 did a great job. Honorable mention to Deja. Which we kind of figured that because if you remember during the deliberations, they only talked about these 2 and Deja. I was like, oh, so we're all on the same page. These 3 were the best. Okay, I'm with y'all. I'm picking up what y'all putting down. All right.
Good. I'm not mad at it.
And again, it's only been 2 episodes, but we're gonna have to see. So far, I have not disagreed with none of the decisions RuPaul's been making. Now, we gotta wait a little bit because sometimes we'll be tripping. But we'll have to just see. We'll just have to see. But right now, looks like we're on a good path. So. After they receive the 2 points, that leaves Irene with 4, Bosco with 3, Aja with 3, and the remaining queens with 1 point. So, it's time for the lip sync for the cash prize and an extra point. And of course, they lip sync to Murder on the Dance Floor. As soon as RuPaul called the challenge that, I'm like, oh, that's the lip sync song. I love it.
You're right.
I love it so much. And you know what else I love? Freaking Bosco.
Bosco bossed this.
Oh my god. The dress. The flowy. It was all just so good. And people online were saying, oh, Irene was winning the lip sync until Bosco did the reveal at the end. And I'm like, no, she wasn't.
No, Bosco was winning it from the jump.
Honestly, I prefer Irene in the last lip sync than in this one. Because in this one, she was doing all the... I'm like, girl, that ain't what this song is.
Exactly. I was like, you're doing too much.
Why are you doing what was it, the Ellie 8 count? What Ellie Diamond called it? Why are you doing the Ellie 8 count, baby? No. This ain't what it is. But yeah, Miss Bosco... Just the flowiness, the beautifulness, the cuntness. I love it all. I love it all. This, yeah.
Like, I love the fact that it was just this big, flowy monstrosity for most of it. And it was like, she looked like she was having fun. She looked like she was just living in the moment.
And we haven't seen this in a while, because the last time we even seen like something similar to this was Coco Montrese on season 5, where she had the arms and they were flowing. Right. But we ain't seen anything in this lane since then. And I'm like, that is so smart of Bosco to think of that.
No. Because Jinx did it during her All-Star season.
She did it with her jacket, though.
Yes.
It was with the jacket. But this is the whole outfit. This was, again, beautiful. And then she did this reveal. And she's like, boom, it's Murder on the Dance Floor. I just thought...
At the very end, like, okay, now I can show you my body.
Again, she knows the perfect time to do the reveals. I am really enjoying that the queens know when to do the reveals this season. I'm enjoying that. I'm like, yes, can we keep the other brackets? Are you paying attention on when the reveals need to be done? Okay. So RuPaul made her decision, and Bosco won the lip sync. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
I agree as well. Which leaves Bosco and Irene with 4 points. Aja with 3. Deja, Olivia, and Phoenix with 1 point. And RuPaul lets the bottom 4 queens know that next week, which honestly I thought we were finna see it now. They were going to go back to the workroom and we were going to see it like now. But no, come to find out we got to wait till next week. But next week, the bottom 4 queens will give out their points. And honestly, I think there's some tomfoolery because in the preview for next week, Phoenix was mad. And it looked like that part like right after, the next day when they come back in. And I'm like, uh-oh, what's finna happen?
Right.
But yes, so they danced the night away, which the new song is ASMR Lover, which I'm so happy that's the song they're dancing the night away now to. And we find out that next week they will be doing a makeover challenge to some basketball players. I love that.
Hey.
But yes, honey, those are our 2 episodes. Honestly, great start to the season. I enjoyed both episodes thoroughly. I've enjoyed those 2 episodes better than most of 17. Now, let me stop shitting on 17 because 17 was a really good season. Honestly, I rank it higher in the list of all the seasons. So let me stop shitting on 17 because somebody will take me serious. And I'm like, no, just joking here. Just joking. I enjoyed season 17 and I can't wait for Anya Nerve to come back for the next all-winter season. Anyway, so yeah, next week they'll be doing the makeover challenges, which typically we don't see this early in the season, so I like that. And I'm like, okay, all right, switching it up a bit, switching it up. And that's the one thing about the brackets. You can really just go any direction. And I would imagine the only challenge we won't see until the semifinals when all 9 of them come together is Snatch Game.
Right.
Because I can't see them being like, oh, bracket 3 is going to do the Snatch Game, but the other 2 don't get a chance at it. You know what I'm saying? So it just makes sense that one of those 2 episodes for the semifinals is Snatch Game. But hey, that's all I got. Is there anything else you want to add to this?
Nope.
All right, well, you go ahead and tell the children where they can find you online.
You can find me at LaCresha McGill. That's CRESHAMCGILL on all social media.
And you can find me in the club, Pocket Full of Bud Mama. But if I'm not there, you can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDESMOND. Thank you so much for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week. Bye.